Guys, welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have Dutch and English are actually really similar. I'm very excited to dive into this and see the similarities. Before we do, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you like to support this channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button and receive your exclusive benefits. Now let's see the similarities between the two. I mean, it's got to be similar in a sense because you got Dutch. I think the Netherlands is out of foreign countries is the number one foreign country to speak English without it being like their national language. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. Most of the Dutch can speak English and Dutch. That's what I'm trying to say.
Dutch is not a real language. We have a serious problem is literally we hebben een serieus probleem. But seriously, English and Dutch are probably a lot more similar than you think. They are both West Germanic languages, descended from Proto-West Germanic, a language spoken sometime between the 2nd and 7th centuries. In the Middle Ages, different dialects of Proto-West Germanic began to separate into different languages, which we now know as English, Dutch, German and Frisian. While English's relative isolation, along with strong French influence, have greatly differentiated it from the continental
badly pronounced French is crazy.
Germanic languages. That doesn't stop Dutch from feeling strangely familiar to the English ear. Not only is Dutch incredibly similar to English phonetically, some words like autumn, house, and apple are almost identical. This video will give an overview of the many surprising connections between Dutch and English. So hop in that cookstool and get ready. If you've ever wondered why words like fight have that GH in the middle, Dutch holds the secret. In Dutch, fight is vecht, pronounced with a guttural sound. The GH in fight actually used to be pronounced the same way, but this sound has now disappeared, and no one bothered updating the spelling. In Dutch, night is nacht, and brood is gebracht. The Dutch equivalent of the word night is knecht, meaning servant. Notice how in Dutch the K is pronounced. This is yet another example.
Crazy. The NBA player on the Los Angeles Lakers' name is Dalton Knecht.
English throwing a sound away without changing the spelling. Another example of this can be seen in the Dutch word for knee, knie. The sound can also be heard in places that you wouldn't expect. To wait is wachten, rainbow is regenboog, day is dag, way is weg, and the Milky Way is actually de Melkweg. Another connection is the English S and Dutch Z. In Dutch, sun is zon, soul is ziel, sick is ziek, and silver is zilver. In northwestern areas of the Netherlands, like Amsterdam, the Z is actually pronounced like an S, making these words even more similar to English. The English G sound corresponds with the Dutch sound. Good is goed, God is God, and green is groen. Another common pattern is that words ending in OLD in English tend to correspond to OUD in Dutch. For example, old is oud, cold is koud, and gold is goud. But sold is not zout, it's actually verkocht. In English, the W represents a W sound, but in Dutch, it's...
This is so cool because I've never, in a sense, thought the English and the Dutch language were that similar. Like, I've never seen any video to kind of show me this, so this is really interesting. There's a lot of words in both languages that sound very similar to each other as he's saying them. They're a little different, but very similar.
The. It sounds like something in between a W and a V. Now here are some words that sound extremely similar. English's ow sound simply becomes ow in Dutch. House is house, mouse is mouse, brown is brown. The Dutch equivalent of town is down, but it instead means garden. Many common Dutch verbs sound strikingly similar to English. Do is doen, begin is beginnen, think is denken, eat is eten, drink is drinken, see is zien, run is rennen, and come is komme. You can also see the connection in the days of the week, which all sound fairly similar. The days Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are actually named after Germanic gods Tyr, Odin, Thor, and Frigg. Monday and Sunday are literally Monday and Sunday, and Saturday is the odd one out, being named after the Roman god Saturn. Words for family members are also incredibly similar. Son is zoon, daughter is dochter, mother is moeder, and father is vader. Many animal words are also closely related. Cow is
freaking love this. Like this is just dope, bro. Like I can watch this. Can I learn Dutch? Yeah. Is there a small possibility that I could? No, there's no way I could learn the Dutch language. But this is cool to know
Is
there
oe.
is
Sheep is
similarities.
schaap. Cat is kat. Dog is hond, which is related to the English word hound. Being from Northern Ireland, a connection I personally find very interesting is the Dutch word muur, meaning wall, and the English word mural, meaning a wall painting. These can both be traced back to the Latin word murus, meaning wall. Following the Norman conquest of England in 1066, many of English's native Germanic vocabulary began to be replaced by words of French origin. Dutch has some French words too, but compared to English, has maintained far more of its native vocabulary. Examples of this are peace, vrede, voice, stem, question, vraag, use, gebruik, village, dorp, city, stad, animal, dier. English actually still has this word, but it now only refers to a deer. Some of these Germanic words are actually a lot more self-explanatory than English's foreign loanwords, such as victory, which is simply overwinning, and
I
aardappel,
love that.
literally meaning earth apple.
I love that. Overwinning. I love that. I'm gonna start using it. Overwinning, bro.
Average is
Overwinning.
gemiddeld, with the word middle literally right there to explain the meaning. There are also many related words that no longer have the same meaning. The English word will and the Dutch word wil share a common origin, but the Dutch word actually means want to instead of going to. The Dutch word huilen, meaning cry, is actually related to the English word howl, and the word gift originally just meant to give someone something, but in English, the meaning narrowed to giving a present, and in Dutch and German, it became a word for poison. I guess because poison is something you give a dose of to someone. Another interesting word is springe, meaning jump, which is actually related to the English word spring, making it easy to guess the meaning. But don't be deceived into thinking all these similarities make Dutch easy, because the grammar has a trick up its sleeve. While English has lost its gender system entirely, Dutch still has two different ways of saying the, depending on a
Yeah, I tried learning Spanish and that gender system. It's not like terribly difficult. It's just something that you have to be aware of when you're talking. And because I've spoken English like all my life, like it's something that I've never had to think of because there really isn't a gender system, like and the way things are spelled or the way things are said. So that's something that takes some getting used to when you've never done it.
word's gender. These are de and het. If you want to speak Dutch correctly, you'll have to remember which of these to use for every single word. Dutch word order can also be surprisingly different from English. In simple sentences like I go to sleep, the word order is often exactly the same. But when it comes to more complex phrases like I'm going to buy a car tomorrow, the word order is completely
Or a
different.
car to buy.
While Dutch and English are very closely related, don't forget that the entire point of this video was to show the connection between the two languages, and so I focused mainly on the parts that are similar. There are also countless differences making English and Dutch mostly incomprehensible to one another, so if you want to get the full picture, I'd highly recommend learning some Dutch, as it is an incredibly fascinating language.
That's all. Like, I don't think I ever be able to learn Dutch because even with the similarities that he showed in this, there's just a whole nother language, bro. That just sounds bonkers, and I wish I had the time. I don't at the moment. That's all we have for this. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Did you know that both languages had similarities? Since most of you guys speak both, you probably did. So that was a dumb question. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe.